Hi there, it's day number 20 of our January Pilates Challenge, and thank you so much for joining me today. We have been requested by Shirley in Horncastle to do some exercises in high kneeling today. So all you need is your mats and a little cushion like this, and that's just going to give you a little bit of extra padding beneath your knees if you need it. So I'd like you to come to kneeling on the mat, and I realise that you can't see my head. Let's just adjust that ever so slightly. So we're going to come to kneeling, high kneeling. So that means that we're going to kneel with our knees hip distance apart, directly underneath your hips. Toe muscles coming in, and just like when we're in our standing correctly position, I'd like you to think about that piece of thread coming through the crown of your head. So you're nice and tall here. So just settle yourself so that your legs are extended out behind you, core muscles switched on. It's quite an effort to stay like this anyway, so make sure your toe muscles are coming on and your glutes are engaged as well before we start. So we're just going to start with some really lovely hinge backs. So what this means is we're just going to sway through our knees. So really nice and easy. Keep your shoulders down, your jaw relaxed. As you breathe out, we're just going to let ourselves come backwards. Inhale to come forwards. Now make sure that your body is staying in one long line from your shoulders to your knees, so you're not tempted to push your hips forward or sink your bottom back. It's a really great one for a control, and it's quite fun to do as well. You should feel your quads working here, as well as your glutes. So you're breathing out to hinge back. Inhale to come forward, and you'll find yourself how far you can go back without losing that lovely neutral position. So just have a play around with this. Just see how far you can go back. You might find you can go quite far, but that's really quite a lot of strain on your quads here. So just find that position that suits you. So hinging back and return. Good. We're going to go 2 more times like this. So core muscles engaged as you hinge. Inhale to return. And our final one. Exhaling to hinge. Inhaling to return. Now let's add in a pair of arms. So as you breathe out, we're going to float our arms up to shoulder height. Inhale to return. Lovely. You can take your arms behind the line of your shoulders as well to get that lovely movement through here and switch your triceps on. So exhaling, hinging back, arms floating up to shoulder height. Inhaling to return and float your arms behind you. Going again. So our arms shoulder distance apart at all times. Don't lose that lovely position that we just found through our bodies. Breathing out to hinge. Keep your gaze going forward. Back of neck long. And 2. And our final one. Breathing out, hinging back, fingers reaching forwards. Inhale to return and come back. Wonderful. Now we're going to add in a bow and arrow. So if you need a little bit of rest through your legs, you can just bend them here, give them a little bit of a rub, or you can stretch them out so you get a little bit of stretch through there too. Okay, so going into our bow and arrow now, we're just going to focus on rotation through our spine. So knees back to hip distance apart. We're going to float our arms up so that they're at shoulder height once again, palms facing, breathing in. As we breathe out, we're going to press one hand forward as we draw the other elbow back and keep our hips completely still. So tempting to rotate. We're going to keep our hips facing forward. So exhale, draw the elbow back. Open that arm out. Inhale and return. So we're getting pure rotation through our spine. Turn your head towards your elbow. Open the arm out. Sweep back through. Wonderful. Going again. Exhale, draw back. Really enjoy that twist. Really lovely to get rotation through your rib cage. Okay, so being really careful that you're not leaning. It's so easy to lean as well. We're going to keep our head centered over our hips. No movement through our lower limbs at all. Exhale to rotate back. Open the arm out. Sweep back and return. Going again. Breathing out, draw back. Open the arm. Return. So smoothly sweeping the arm back round. Maybe getting a little bit further on that rotation now that you're familiar with the movement. Shoulders melting away from your ears, jaw relaxed. And our final one here, rotating back, opening the arm out, sweeping back, and floating your arms down by your sides and giving them a little bit of a swing here to get any tension released through there. Brilliant. Okay, so now we're going to go into a little bit of a squat. So this is going to get our glutes fired up now. Really great, your core working as well. So it's a bit like a Pilates squat, but we're in high kneeling. So this time, still with our knees hip distance apart. As we exhale, I'd like you just to sit back. So sending your bottom towards your heels, float your arms up to shoulder height, and then press through your legs to come back through. So breathing out, imagine that your sitting bones are widening as you take them back over your heels. And coming back through, good. Using that tummy connection, so toe muscles coming in. Try not to tuck your bottom under. So tempting to round through your back, but keep your bottom just pressing out. And so if you imagine that your sitting bones are widening, you kind of keep that form even better. Lovely, good. Let's go again. Breathing out. And in, lovely. Great, 2 more. Breathing out. And in. And the last one. Out. Toe muscles coming in to support you. And in as you restart. Brilliant. I'm getting really warm now. Okay, so we're going to go into another rotation before we go into a really lovely reach back. So which is going to challenge you. So for a rotation, stack one arm on top of the other. Lengthen your legs out behind you once again. And then swap your arms over. So we naturally always put one arm on top. So we're going to swap that over. Nose is level with where your wristwatch would be if you're wearing one. Shoulders melting down, breathing in. As you breathe out, let's start to rotate to the side. This is where you can really tune into what your hips are doing. So rotate as far as you can to the side without moving your hips. Back through to center. Exhale, rotate to the other side. Inhale back to center. Super. Going again, breathing out. Try and keep your elbows level with your shoulders. Melt your shoulders down the back of your spine. Breathing out. And in. Lovely. Don't forget that tummy connection. So bring the tummy button into your spine to support you as you twist. And imagine that your spine is a helter-skelter. So there's a central line that everything is rotating around. Great. Maybe so you can get a little bit further around this time. So as you warm up, you might find that you've got a little bit further, more movement through your spine. And one more here. Breathing out to rotate. Inhale to return and bring your arms down. Good. Okay, so we're going to go now into our touch back. So we're just going to start really small. So this can be quite scary to start with. So just have faith that you're not going to fall over, but use these toe muscles, because if you have these toe muscles completely connected, you're always going to be able to bring yourself back through. So what we're going to do is just turn a little bit and rotate. So you can just think about reaching your hand towards your heel as you're rotating through your spine. So you're kind of hinging a little bit to enable you to go back and turning round. Okay. Breathing out. And every time you do this, I'd like you to try and get a little bit deeper with this movement. So breathing out, maybe getting further down. Inhale to return. Breathing out, maybe coming towards your heel now and touching it. This is really tricky. You're nowhere near your heels. You can place your heels up in the air like this. That makes it a lot more accessible for everybody. If you can have your feet down, try like that. Good. You might feel that one side you really have to hinge back. Okay, so for the next few, I'd like you just to see if you can touch your heels. So breathing out, hinge back. Oh! And going again. Hinging back, breathing out and in. So your glutes are really engaged now to support you as you hinge. Let's go again. Hinging back and touch. Inhale, return. One more time. Don't forget to turn your head to watch. Now we're going to do the same with our arms up in the air. So float your arms up in the air, and this time as you hinge back, you're keeping one arm forward, putting all those movements that we've done together. So that hinge back, that rotation, and that strength of your core. Breathing back, out, sorry, to hinge back. Inhale to return. Try and aim for your heel if you can. Breathing out. Return. 2 more times. Breathing out. Return, lovely. And again. Hinge back. Return. Don't forget that breathing pattern. It's quite a strong exercise. You've got one more, really feeling it through your quads. So that's the front of your thigh. Hinge. Return. I'm going to sit back onto our heels and relax our legs out in front of us. Give them a little bit of a wiggle. Get rid of any tension. And if you can, just start reaching forward to give your legs a bit of a hamstring stretch. So grabbing hold of your ankles or your toes if you can. Breathing in and out here to relax. Good. Okay, just bring yourself around to seated position. So Let your legs just relax out to the sides, feet together. We're going to go into our final 2 breaths. So arms out to the side, breathing in. As we breathe out, we're going to reach our arms up towards the ceiling, reaching through our fingers. Press the air away. And let's go. One more like this. Breathing out, reaching all the way up. Inhale to press the air away. And give yourself a clap. Well done. I'm going to be back tomorrow for some hands and feet exercises. So it's a little bit more relaxed, but you're really going to feel the benefit in getting your feet moving. So hopefully see you then. Have a great rest of the day and take care. Bye-bye.